Alright, what's up guys? Good morning. Let's go over here. We only got a few minutes. I didn't sleep at all last night, guys. I got maybe an hour or so. I'm not sure why. It was a pretty rough night last night, so I do apologize for coming on late. We have some movers this morning. Let's run through the market real quick. So I'm obviously looking at SoFi. It's at an inflection point here where this area. So you have this double top here, right? Pre-market. That's what I'm going to watch on SoFi. I think it might be too much. Let me make sure everything looks correct. It kind of does. Thanks for joining us. If you guys have any questions, if you're new to trading, if you have any trade ideas, if you see any relative strength, relative weakness, shout it out in chat. We're all here to help each other out, right? We only have two eyes. We're only one person. We can only see so many things. So, looks like 750 is an area right now that's holding, but it feels like it's just too much. The higher we're going, it just feels like it's a bit too much. See if we pull it back to this 200-day moving average here, and then see what we do. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their earnings yet, but SoFi, BlackRock partner, 370 million personal loan, securitization. Let's see here. It does have some nice volume. I mean, it could be better. It could be a lot better. Don't get me wrong. So, SoFi raises 2023 revenue from 2.45 to 2.6. To 2.5, 2.65. Raises 2023 adjusted EBITDA view 386, 396. Expects GAAP profitability in Q4. Net revenue 6 prior 1.9. Okay, that's pretty nice, I guess. Raises okay, posting higher Q3 revenue and deposits. That's good. Outlook. I'm just trying to look at their earnings real quick right here. SoFi Technology, third quarter adjusted loss per share, 3 cents a loss. So SoFi beats on revenue. Expects physical year adjusted net revenue. Okay, so revenue is coming in higher. Again, I talked about why is it not giving us share 29 cents. So here it is. EPS beat. Adjusted earnings per share 3 cents beat, 7-cent estimate. Huh? Sales 530 was a beat. Yeah, 530 estimate, they beat with 512. Wow, look at this EPS, guys. They more than doubled the EPS. That's pretty sweet. I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but that's awesome. You know, that's pretty sick. Just like me. I mean, raising guidance, raised EPS, raising 2023 estimates. EBITDA 98 million. Almost. No, never mind. Expects physical year adjusted net revenue 2.45 to 2.6. Post higher third quarter revenue. Raises 2023 expect adjusted revenue. Nice. Okay. Alright, so what do we have? Alright, let's go into the markets. We also had McDonald's. I didn't look there. I'm probably gonna pass on McDonald's. I do have to go make. I'm gonna go make my coffee real quick and get that over with. Or I'll just run through the markets real quick and then we'll worry about that. That way I'm ready for the day. So the S&Ps, it looks a little bit easier. So I'm gonna be watching this level up here. Um, Let me see here. Sorry for the sniffles. I know. All right. So pretty rough day on Friday, and again, I think you had more. It was more to do with J.P. Morgan, and then the add-on of energy earnings. So, and look, it feels like. Remember when Tesla? Remember when Elon was selling shares? All right. Do you remember what happened to Tesla? If you don't remember what happened to Tesla, this could be a trade you could take for the next month. Okay. You could take this trade for the next month. I need to clean that chart up of Tesla. Like, seriously. So, this was when Elon was selling stock. Okay. So, you got to find out where JP Morgan's going to find its support. I feel like that's going to be the biggest driver, because you're going to have relative weakness behind the markets if you can't find a bid here. If you can't find a bid on JP Morgan, I don't know what to tell the market, what to tell you with the markets. But for now, oh, come on. So for now, the ESs are really weak. We're still weak, and I get why. I get why. It's because of, wow. Let's look for, that's so crazy. The Qs look so much better. It looks like the Qs are looking so much better. And I didn't say this last night, but I wanted to mention to you guys that I think we get a huge pop out of, I think we get a huge pop in stocks that are already, like, these tech names like Roku, SoFi that are already beat up. We could see them start to bounce. Let's see if we can find the rotation. Let's see if we can find rotation. Like, where are they taking money in the big names? Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, so let's go look at Bitcoin real quick. Still struggling up here at 35. I don't see why we can't get up to 36, 37. I really don't. I don't see why you're not going to get a bounce up to that area. Because the real major resistance level is at 40. You know, it's at $40. So, or 40,000, whatever you want to call it. So, SPY, I'm going to see if we can, I don't know what to expect with the markets, because I feel like we're going to get a bounce. I want to buy the pullbacks. You got to watch JP Morgan. Watch the Dow, right? Because if the Dow starts heading lower, you know, that's only going to send what's in the SPY, right? Dow names. Apple, Microsoft. So, JP Morgan selling off here again this morning. Let's see if you can get that support down here in the low 134s. That'll help the market if you can get JP Morgan to bounce. If you can't find a bounce there, it's going to weigh heavily in financials. It weighs heavily in financials. That's going to weigh heavily in the Dow, SPY. It's not going to help. Right? It's not going to help the markets. That's what you need to look for. So we talked about SoFi. I'm going to look at some of these earnings plays. So we're sitting up here around 750. It was when we just looked at it. Let's see if it holds this level and tries to make a run up to $8. It's a 50-cent run. I'd look for it to get up to like $8. This is a pretty major resistance level here. So it may try to bounce there and get rejected. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to swing for the fences and try and be a hero here. But I would like to see if that's it for SoFi, and we can reel it back in just a bit. You know, if you're long, I would wait to get long at that 200-day moving average, because you have previous pivot low there. It was resistance. You've broken that resistance level. Let's see if we can turn this area into support. Okay, see if we can turn this area into support on SoFi. Nvidia, you guys probably know there's a Head and Shoulders. We brought that up a long time. Like, we brought this up a few weeks ago. The pattern that it was putting in. So we'll see if we can get a bounce off of this 400 level. I would look for. I think you gotta look for like 410. Let's see where we're at pre-market. Yep, 410. Look, it's already starting to have some resistance there. 411. So, let's see. I feel like it feels weak. Feels weak. If you guys have any questions, you guys can throw the questions in the chat. If you guys have any stocks you're looking at, throw them in the chat. If you guys could, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Let's see. So let's go to the Qs. So I'm going to just kind of relax today. I like the Qs. Out of all the stuff we've looked at, I like the Qs. I want to see what happens when we get up to this 350 level. It's like 350. It's like it's a dollar range. Seriously, it's right up in here. I want to see what happens when we get there. If we're able to break it, if we're able to catch a bounce, see if we can start to get some of these technology names to start this technology sector to catch a bid. We have a lot of opportunity getting ready to come up, because I really feel like your PayPals, your Rokus, Qualcomm, Supermicro, any of these names that are down could get a bounce. I'm really curious to see if they do. Right? I'm really curious to see if they do. I know Roku's down on its ass, and it reported decent earnings last quarter, from what I remember. Or it didn't. I can't remember. So here we are, trying to turn this area into resistance. Let's just see if we pull it back and try to find an area of support from Thursday's low. Friday's close even. Right, Friday's close even. Yeah, let's see if we can try to get it some dip buyers here at 345.50. 345.50 would be right around Friday's close on the Q. So I'm going to look to see if we can Um, 345.50. 345.50. See if we can't catch a bounce. Doesn't mean we will. We can always go lower. Um, there is a small like resistance support level here at 347. Um, so you may want to watch for that. And you are trying to make this level here 347.50. You are trying to double bottom at it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Um, as you can see here, you have some resistance, right? You have some resistance. You break through it. Try to hold it as support. It's a failed attempt of a hold at the initial morning low, and it's a simple fail, right? It failed to break out. You're making lower highs with higher highs. What I also see here is, you are putting in a pennant. I'm really unsure what the markets are going to do. I'm unsure this morning. I will look to see if we try to hold Friday's close. That's where I'm going to be looking to see if we hold 345.50. If we don't get there and we just run it up to 350, 351, and we can't break through it, then we got to look for a short. We have just a couple minutes. I'm going to go get my coffee real quick. Start to do some planning for the week. It's only Monday. Don't go overboard. Take your time. Okay? Take your time. Find your footing. Let's see here. We can watch. We have a few other names that we've been watching. Netflix. I'm going to watch to see if Netflix is weak. I'm not sure if it will be weak, but you could get a decent pullback to like, it's at 400 now. Okay. It broke 400. Well, it did try to hold it. It did hold the 9 EMA. But this level here, guys, you can see 397, 400s. Pretty key support area. You made 415 resistance. So I want to know. I think you could see Netflix back down at 385. I think 385 is is coming for Netflix, and it's still. So what I would suggest is, I can't make any suggestions here, but 385 Netflix, 385, looking for a long, or we short the bounce backs off of 405 and get short to 385. So that's my plan there with Netflix. All right. My plan with Netflix one more time is going to be. Now, you're going to have to watch Friday's close because you may not get to 410. But you could look for Friday's. No, we're already up above it. Let me see. Damn it. So yeah, let's see what it looks like up at it's going to be an area again. Look at like 402. No, I like that. 406. So Netflix. So 406. I'm going to look to get short. What's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Good morning to you. I hope you're ready to, I would take your time. Me, I'm going to take my time today. I'm not going to rush into anything unless I see a pretty clear setup. Like this trade here, right? Netflix, 406 area, 406 to like 407, this area here. I want to see if we start to reject it. I will look for pre-market highs. 402. I wrote that down also 402, but I think your real resistance level is up here, right? This area down here is support. Where are you? You know, you could bounce it or pull it back. Find a bounce, and bounce, get that $6-7 move to the upside, and then short tomorrow. So I am watching SoFi today. I was saying I'm not sure when you hopped on, but I was saying I think let's see if and I said it on the yesterday in chat on the I put it in the chat off of last night's video that I wanted to see some of these names, some of these technology names that are already down, and see if they start catching a bid, if they have decent earnings, right? If they can have good earnings, like our mega cap tech names had good earnings and got sold off. Bank had okay earnings. They had pretty good earnings, and they kind of caught a bid, but then pulled it back. Let's see if we start seeing some money start to rotate into some of these like names like Roku. I mean, it's almost Christmas time. You're gonna have you know, Americans do what they do best, and that's buy TVs on Black Friday. So that's gonna benefit names like Roku, right? They had I'm pretty sure they had a decent earnings last time. I'm gonna have to look, but this name is on its lows. So I don't expect it. So the risk is to the upside, not the downside. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna watch and see if we can't see if these names that are already on their lows, that have been beaten down a bit, see if they can't get see if they can't catch a bid. Uh, yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I was thinking this level might be a bit too much for SoFi, but I think it's going to depend on. Uh, I just don't know if that pullback. So what I was thinking was, this level doesn't hold and it pulls itself back down to like that low $7, 719, 720. Is where I was looking to see if SoFi pulled back to. Pretty much 200-day moving average. Oh, all right. We have 1 minute. I'm gonna go grab a coffee. Shit. I can't walk away right now. Damn it. All right. Good luck today, guys. If you guys see anything that has, that has some relative strength, relative weakness, shout it out. Again, 770 and $8. Pretty heavy resistance. See what happens here. All right, here we go. U.S. market is open for trade. Good luck today, guys. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see what she wants to do. Let's see what she wants to do. GLD? No, SoFi, bro. What are you doing? It should be connected to the... Alright, so it did pull. It tailed. It wicked. Look at that. Right into that 750 level. See if it cannot break through pre-market highs. Nope. Again, you got room all the way down to the low 17s, guys. You have room all the way down to the low 17 or low $7. Um, I'm gonna take that $7 put. I want to see if I can get a bounce first. All right, let's see here. And look at that bounce. I had a feeling something like that was going to happen, guys. I want to stay. I want to get short up at $8. Wow, look at that bounce. That was insane. They had decent earnings. This thing could go higher. Could go higher. Certainly feels like it wants to. I mean, I don't. I just don't see the reason. Steel imports. Tariffs for steel imports. Look at her go. Look at her go. Let's see if institutions start to buy this. I mean, you start. This thing starts showing a sign of relative strength. Don't fight it. Do not fight it. Keep an eye on what the overall markets are doing also. Alright, keep your eye on the Qs and the SPY. I'm going to go make a cup of coffee real quick. Markets aren't doing much. There was something that just came across the wire with... how did those puts... Those... Oh, no, they're down. Okay. I didn't take anything yet, guys. I don't have a position on. Come on. Give me 1 second. I mean, that's a clear break. I would be nervous if you're thinking about shorting it because it's telling you that you have some really like once it wants to go to the upside more than it wants to go to the downside. That was a huge nasty rip to the upside there. I just don't know how. I don't know where this thing. I mean, do we just take it to the 50-day moving average? That could be where she's headed. She could be headed right there for that $8 level, and you also have the 50-day moving average right in your way, also right there at $8. Okay, so we're starting to come into this level that could be resistance. Hold on, let me fix this stuff here. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna go get my coffee and I'll be right back, guys. Let this market see what she wants to do here. All right, so I'm back. I had a couple. Okay, shit. So here we go. Watch that pop there. I didn't like it. Uh, let's see here, guys. Um, I just want to see what the relevance of that area was. Why it bounced off. Why it chose that area to pull itself back. Man, last night was crappy, man. Um. Okay, look at the Qs ripping, guys. The Qs are ripping right now. Um. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Shit. Man, you could have damn near just 100% already, close to 100%. Like a 80% trade just on that move right there, guys. Just on those two candles right there. They just went from 10 cents up to like, uh, it was like 17, 18 cents. I seen. Um, so if the Qs are going higher, what do we want to look for? What do we want to look for? 145 on snow. Like if the Qs are going to break out. Um, man. Let me get my levels here. The So I went to the grocery store last night, um, and I noticed that I noticed that coffee just literally had ripped in price. It's pretty crazy. Cause like I would get my Starbucks for like um the I would get like Starbucks ground coffee. And it's really good, and I just couldn't justify. It's not that I didn't have it. I just couldn't justify paying pretty much $1 an ounce. Is what it was. And I'm like a 12-ounce bag for $12. When I was getting them for uh, two bags for like $13. I'm like I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I couldn't do it just because they changed the sale. So I just like as a person had to let them know like nah like I don't you might have some stuff going on, but just so you know that like I'm only buying it um when there's a sale. Not like a sale, but like it's just like, all for it's just so weird that yesterday I walk in and they've completely like pretty much taken a bag away from everybody and started charging them $1 an ounce, and I think that's going to turn a lot of people away because it's really good, but I don't know. I had to stand firm with that. All right, I had to stand firm to inflation like Powell. All right, let's see what we do here. Let's see what we do. Feels like we can break this level. I might start thinking about. Man, I need to get moving. Shit. And UPS. Do not trade UPS. The stuff I gave out yesterday. All right, I'm telling you not to trade it. You can do what you want, but I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. These contracts are already up over 500%. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,000%, depending on what strike you have. You had to be on this trade last week. You're going to pay up for it, and you're going to get left holding the bag. You still might have a little more downside, but that trade is done and gone. That trade is done and gone. All right? Look at the options before you think about trading UPS. That was last week's idea. We need to find a new idea. Chris, I'm not sure if you're here. What are you thinking with SoFi? Do you have an area that you're looking at? Wow, that's crazy. I would be so frustrated. I know so many people are probably kicking themselves in the ass right now who got short and had that break because this thing literally just you blinked and it sliced through that. It just cut you out of your position or tried to, or you were down 50% on options. So some people just got hurt on that bounce. And that's going to make me a bit gun shy now. But the trend is to the downside. We clearly see that. We've had a couple. It's like a F-22 flying around. It looked black, so I don't know exactly what it was, but I want to say it was an F-22, and it was flying so high. Now I feel like I still hear it out there. Look at that rejection off the initial morning low. Trying to reject that initial morning low. That was such a random level for that stock to pull back at. Yeah, I feel like that fighter jet's still back. Yeah, I can hear it out there. Give me 1 second. I don't know what's going on because like yesterday they were there all day. So I don't know if Joe is. I have no idea. Like there should be no reason. Like I'm probably like 15, 20 minutes outside of Joe's house. About like 10, 15 minutes away. Um, but like I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so there's a rejection off the initial morning low, guys. It's a pretty nice setup. I just feel like I'm getting gun shy now because this could get a bounce to VWAP, and that's where I want to look to get short. Your next support is down at the low $7. I need a bounce to get short SoFi. I just couldn't get this area that SoFi popped into was just so random. I mean, you could have taken it when noticing these tails, but this candle, guys, I watched the options. So many people probably just got hurt. Dude, they were at 19 cents. And then this thing just I just looked up and this candle was just whoom, and they were down to 9, 10 cents, and that cut people's if whoever was playing options. I'm sure more people are, more so shorting the stock itself. But those options were down 50%. And to sit through this, you don't know if you're just going to go to the 50-day and continue higher. You got the Qs going, like those are the thoughts that are going through anybody that was short that got stopped out. Look at the Qs go, guys. The Qs are ripping and roaring right now. Holy cow. Oh, man, I knew it. Damn it, I should have taken that long. Guys, I'm telling you, I want to look for some of these names to get long the Qs. All right, we're getting into that area now on the Qs. All right, we're getting into that area. 350, 351 is the area we're looking for, that I'm looking for. Okay. I don't know what happened to it, but right here's the range. Yeah, there's definitely another F-20 fighter jet flying up above. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I really don't care, but yesterday, guys, it was flying so high in the air. Like usually they'll be pretty low and where you can feel it and it's loud as hell. It shakes the house, or it would like shake your house, like to an extent. You can just feel the power and whatnot. But this thing is so high up in the air because you have there's another airport that Joe goes, we that it trips out of. There's another airport there, so it's like, I was watching it yesterday and it was so hard to find. It was so high up in the air. I'm telling you guys, the altitude that this thing was flying at was insane. It was high as shit. And you know, obviously you could still hear it, and you couldn't feel it. Like if you, I don't know if any of you guys have seen or actually witnessed and been around a fighter jet, to get that experience of the just the strength of a jet engine. Um, so, but to be able to hear it and to see the altitude that this thing was at and how small it was, and to be able to still hear it was actually pretty insane. So I'm like 100% positive they're back out there again. I'm sure it could just be, I don't know. They're just staying in one area, so to stay there all day to run a test or to do things, and this isn't an area that I don't know. I'm just gonna, we're on the internet, so all right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what if we have some relative strength. So there could be again, I'm not leaning short. I'm also not leaning on the long either. I wanted to prove to me that it's going to hold these gains. Let me see the volume. There's some pretty nice volume too. Again, I felt really strongly that Friday's price action is not what the market originally intended on doing. But once you had JP Morgan come out and say that, or Jamie Dimon come out and say he was selling shares, that put a hurting on the financials, and it put a hurting on the Dow, and that Dow is a decent weighting on the SPY. Pretty much your top names. All right, so let's see if we can take it to 354. If we can hold this level, guys, I'm going to look for a long on the Qs right now. I'm going to see if we can't get a long. You got to hold this level, though. This level is like 350 flat. No, give me exit out of here. Alright, so I think I'm going to take a long here, guys. I mean, I know it sounds stupid to take a long here in the 350, but I feel like 354 is in the books. I think that's our calling. And the volume is picking up here. Be careful, be patient. If I do anything, I will put it in chat. I want to go back to SoFi. I have too many lines on my chart. I told myself I was going to clean my charts this weekend, but I didn't intend on being as sick as I was. Let's see here. So Qs are there. And we do have a squawk box, so there it is. It's SoFi's breaking down. Man, I missed that trade. Fuck. Brutal. Well, there's your SoFi short if you were able to get it right there off of the initial morning low. That was a beautiful setup right there, guys. It was a beautiful setup. Did anybody get that? Did anybody take that right there? Did anybody take that rejection right here? Look at that. There's your initial morning low. You bounced. You couldn't hold the highs. You broke it. Came back, turned it into resistance. I said it yesterday. I said SoFi, and look, it was your pre-market support and resistance area. Turn that whole area right there into resistance. You get short, bull flag or bear flag. Yeah, there's a fighter jet up above, and it's pretty cool. Right there. There's your bear flag. Boop. And then you drop it. Let's see what happens here. Now you're turning the 200-day into resistance. You dropped right into that 200-day. Dude, I'm really curious on what they're doing and what's going on. Like, because I'm trying to say, like, it's like there's no like resort area. Because I'm thinking like, what if like a few major or like a few uh like senators came to visit, right? You know what I mean? And they're there for protection or something, but that's a job I could do. I'll tell you that right now. It's a job I could do. You want to put me in the seat of a F-22, F-16 or something and fly it around for 8 hours? I'm your guy. I could go out and post it for you guys too. I could go out here and post it. Well, um, they're not quite at 100%, but if you'd have caught this bounce here where they were at like 10 cents or so, if you shorted the bounce back, then you definitely got a nice trade. You got over 100%. Got about 150% right now. Um, and this thing's just weak. It's just going to keep grinding lower, I feel like. So that's a missed opportunity there because the Q's bounce and I was a bit distracted. Let's see here. I really want to try for a long. I mean, but you're coming into like what could be resistance here. Right? We could have resistance at 355. That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go to. I think we can get back to 354, 355. I'm going to try it. Right? I'm going to keep my stop tight. I'm going to try for a long on the Qs. I'm going to give it a second. Let's see here. You're starting to get tails both ways, so we are putting in that fight. Man, that blows. That really sucks that we could not get that SoFi short. The analysis was right. It's all good. The analysis was right. I got distracted with the Qs and that relative strength coming off the bell. Let's see what's going on around the markets. SPY strong as well. That's good. The Dow, same thing. IWM, weak. So we should pull it back. Don't. I would be cautious. Alright, I'd be cautious. I would be cautious, right? Look at that. It's a clear rejection. Still weak. The IWM is still weak. Not sure what treasuries are doing. I could probably tell you what they're doing. Not that it matters. Okay, there's a nice bounce on the IWM. It felt like it got to its area. It's a nice support area. IWM's got to hold here because this would be a nice area at 163.50 for a bounce. Right there. Oh, I'm sorry, right there. 163.30, 163.50. There it is. 163.43 is the area I was looking at, guys. See if you start getting some volume in here to get a bounce on the IWM. There's a trade idea right there. Look at it coming in. Selling is... let's see. I still think sellers are in control. But they're showing up, and then... Yeah, see, that they're not letting this thing go higher. They could move out of the way, and then buyers can take over. But read your level 2. That's where I'm getting that information. Time and sales level 2. It'll help paint the picture for you. You have a nice little rejection area here. I don't know if we have any data that comes out today. Um, huh? Is that a short? There could be a short area right there on the cues. All right, let's see. This is going to let us know what we're going to do. If we're going to head lower, which I feel like we're going to. Um, damn it. Let's see if we get some buyers in here. See if we can hold yesterday's high. $349. So you have Treasury trying to issue more bonds, about $1 trillion worth. That's so insane. So when you hear Joe talk about um, decreasing the deficit, he's flat out lying to you. When the Treasury has to issue more bonds, it's increasing the deficit. Just for anybody that isn't aware. All right, so when he says we're cutting the deficit, well, that is completely false. And it's a straight up lie. All right, there you go. There's your pullback. This is it right there. Our buyer's going to step in and buy this thing. You have an increase in selling pressure increasing here. I'm going to wait. Guys, here's my plan. I want to see if we can try to get one more bounce higher. And I'm going to look to take a short on the Qs. But the Qs probably wouldn't be the best thing to short because they are the stronger of the 4 indexes. They're the stronger of the bunch. So I would not recommend anybody else doing that. What time is it? It is 10 o'clock. All right, so it's 10 o'clock here. So where is this in I'm going to look to see if we can take it down to yesterday's close, 345. I'm going to try for a 345 put here in 1 second. Let's see if we can catch a bounce here. We're right at VWAP. You're right at VWAP. Did anybody take so far short? Again, our target for there was the low $7. All right, come on. Let's do it. I meant to put come on. Just watch this area. Because if we can get that bounce, I still want to short the bounce. I mean, I kind of don't want to go short, you know? I don't want to be that guy. But I think in order to be long, you got to be long back down at like 345 or so. You know, IWM is still weak, so that's not going to help. It's not going to help us at all. Unless we start to catch a bounce, but I don't see that happening. I feel like in order to bring some buyers in here, we need to pull it back. And there's the SPY making that area resistance right now. Friday's pivot high, that double top, looks like it's trying to turn it back into resistance. Thursday was rough. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. Yeah, it was Thursday. We called that double top. I'm like, God damn it. All right. 415 on the S&Ps. 415 is what I'm looking for the resistance. Yeah, 415. Oh, come on. Because this is the area. If you're going to want to look to take a short, you know, looking for just a few points, I think this is where you got to think about doing it. This is a pennant of sorts. And I feel like in order to pull it back, in order to go higher, you kind of want to go. You know, it's only 2 days. It's not. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't like that. You know, that would be your support area there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take this. If we get a bounce, we get a bounce. It is what it is. I'm just going to keep my stops tight. I'm going to keep my stop tight and do what I can do. I can only control what I can control. And that is, you know, expected value. So that would mean, there she goes. I mean, you could take it to pre-market highs even, you know. All right, man, I kind of don't like this trade. Wait. Hold on. No. 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 I'm in calls. Hold on. No, I'm in puts. I'm in puts. You could hold this area, but we'll see. I'm gonna. I'm trying to hold here. What's the SPY doing? I gotta take a piece here, guys. What? No, why did it... Are you kidding me? What an asshole. Dude, why did it fill me there? Oh my god. Well, that first piece was garbage, was a garbage fill. Alright, let's see here. Where's old Sophie back? Where's old Sophie back? I still think I would keep an eye on. So SoFi pretty much got to the target already. Wow. Well, that was that would have been a beautiful trade this morning. Even just from here to here, it would have been a really nice trade. You know, it doesn't get any better than that. That's why I say wait for day 2 setups, because some of these names will give you really clear setups. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, tell me that's not a beautiful setup, guys. Tell me that's not a beautiful setup. Right? You break the initial morning low, which is right here, which was pre-market support, and while it was resistance and then support, it breaks. You got a nice bear flag at the initial morning low, and you break it on an increase in volume. You break the 200A. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's a beautiful setup. So, I know some of the names that do this, and that's what I look for, right? These are the type of setups that I look for personally, because they're, you know, they make your risk to reward and your, you know, they make the trade easy when you get those setups. Come on. Alright, so everything's going to freeze up on me now. Alright, let's go. Let's break it right here. Let's break it right there. Break it. I don't have that much volume. Let's go. And those were the 345s, by the way. Man, I don't know if we're going to do it. The volume's starting to decrease. I think it will, but it just, you know, that's not what you want to see. You want to see an increase in volume there and let it pull back to the initial morning high. There she goes. There you go, guys. Let's go. There you go. 30 cents now. Take another one off there. I have 3 contracts remaining, and I'm just gonna wait and see what happens now. Now I'm in the driver's seat here. Not a big trade, not a home run trade. It kind of screwed me up on the first fill. I really got screwed on the first fill. I didn't have a limit order out, is why. All right, let's bring it down, baby. Let's bring it down. There we go. Let's go. All right, I'm out of that trade. Just under 100%. Right there on the cues. I needed that. I needed that. I may not have been too clear on getting short, but I told you guys I was getting short that bounce back. 22 cent entry. Last fill was 37 cents. You're going to get more. They're right back at 36 ask, 35 bid. So that was just nice. It just flushed, and it could still continue to go. Again, I still think you're going to get more out of this. I really do. I think you could look for this thing to get down to Friday's close. That's why I chose the 345s. All right, that's why I chose the 345s. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bounce there. We're just weak. That was a nice trade. That was a nice trade. Look at that increase in volume there, too. Alright, I'm going to go get a coffee. That's one in the books for myself. It's a pretty nice trade there, guys. It's a break. That's a failed attempt. You broke, made 350 resistance. Look for the downside. That extension was really nice. It's trying to break above that 40 area. There she goes, 41 cents. Now those contracts are 100%. I'm not in them. I'm out. But if you guys were able to get those to get short, I still think we have room. I'm telling you, I think we have room. I want to see us get down to Friday's close. Man, I got to clean these charts up. I really do. I want to start to see a bounce, at like 345.50. That's where I want to see us bounce. You're starting to come into the 9 EMA on the 15-minute chart, so you could get some buyers to step in here. You could. Let's see what Nvidia's doing. Let's go scan around. That's a nice trade. Nice trade, guys. Nice trade. Man, that could be a nice area to get short Nvidia too, but I'm not. I'm already up. Nice on the day. Look at those wicks. I don't like that. I noticed Tesla was doing that as well. Yep, there you go. They're well over 100% there, guys. Well over 100%. Great trade. Great trade. I'm gonna go get my coffee now, and kind of sit back. Nice trade. Get us green. Get us confident. I wanted to hold these, but I'm good. You can't. At what point do you say, like, what are you gonna get? An extra 10 cent a contract's gonna be 50%, but still, I'm good. This is we're coming into this 15-minute again. You should get a bounce here. You should get some buyers stepping in right here. You could you could get a bounce back, but I want to see ultimately at the Qs if we can get back down to 345.50. That's the target. The target is right here. Okay, look at that increase in volume. So we'll probably crack the low a day. That's after a bounce. I think that you got to wait for that bounce. 348 area, and reject 347.95, 348. Well, sorry, I didn't know the charts weren't set up. Again, I think you can get a bounce here, or you did bounce, and you're coming off of the bounce now. So some light volume weakness. Um, like I'm saying, you're not. I think if we do crack this level, I want to look for that again 345 target area for the Qs to bounce. If we can get a bounce, I think it's important to notice what's keeping us down. Identifying like the weakness, right? Identifying that weakness. Um, that was such a nice trade, guys. I thought about it a lot this weekend, like identifying and not taking. And I think a lot of people, for a few different reasons, whether they don't have the capital that they, uh, where they get gun shy. People don't have enough money that they should have when they trade to get comfortable to be able to handle a few losses, right? Or they're sizing up way too much and can't sit in a trade. But we didn't have to sit in that long at all. So what we have here is a double bottom gap up right now forming on the 15-minute chart, guys. Actually, you do actually kind of have a double bottom here. So watch out for a bounce. You could get yourself a nice little bounce here, which could take us right back to VWAP. Look at the tails that are getting put in on the 1 minute. Look at the increase in volume on the 1 minute. Just take notice of that. Look at that. Look at that 15-minute chart. That is a clear double bottom. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. Okay, come on, man. Why are you doing that? Come on. All right, so it's obviously gonna break. Again, the level is 345 that we're looking at. We're gonna look for this area here, 345.50. Friday's close. I needed to start the day off on the right foot, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I needed that trade, man. I needed that trade. After just missing SoFi, right? After not taking that SoFi trade, not sure why I didn't. Because I think at the time on SoFi, I was wanting to see if we were going to bounce back to like 760. Because what I noticed is you had VWAP there right up with pre-market highs. So I was like, there's probably a good possibility that we get that bounce, in which we did not. It made the level even better. Nice bear flag right here. Nice bear flag right underneath the initial morning lows. And that was that, guys. That's all she wrote. That was a nice trade as well. And the reason I was short SoFi, because I thought you had just gapped up into an area of resistance that you need to pull it back to go any higher. I just felt like we were a bit overdone. That was just my thoughts. I felt like we were a bit overdone. And I didn't think that there was a reason for this stock to start making new highs. And on the year, what is this stock on the year? I am curious. I'm not going to be able to tell right now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that would have been close to 100% on the year. Let me go to a weekly chart. That would probably make it a little bit easier. It is important to go see what the you want to see what the year to date is on some of these names, right? That's going to help with your trades. Of course, it's not going to show me because, man, I wish I could get rid of this volume thing, but if I do, it's going to take it off on the ones up there. I need to figure out how to change that. So look, there's another rejection off of the lows on SoFi. This thing's just going to pull it back. You can see this thing just sell off the majority of the day. And we opened here. So yeah, it's up 63%. Can you believe that? I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to these lower stock names, you know, because that's where you're going to get your 50, you know, your 25, 50, 100% on stocks, on names. Cruise lines. A lot of you guys may not know this, but go look at CCL, right? Go look at Carnival Cruise and see how it wasn't up 130% year to date. It's just insane, you know. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody talked about it. Oh, my stomach. My nose is killing me. And I don't hear that fighter jet anymore. I'm sure it's still there, or it's, I don't know, it's weird. Again, I want to see us. I think the Qs can pull back to 345. 345 is the area I'm looking for. It's already over 100% gain to start out Monday morning. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna try to have. Yeah, dude, they're at 51 cents now at a 22-cent entry. 22-cent entry, and they're at 50. Well, now they're 49.50, 48.50, one or 48.49. Oh, my stomach. I'll be right back. Let me go try and use the restroom. Look at this area here at 410 for Nvidia. Let's take a look at some of the names we were talking about, like Netflix. See what the analysis brought from that. I didn't even get to the targets, but look, right into that area. Still trying to hold itself up a bit. Volume isn't really there. You can see the volume's dying off. People are forgetting about this name. Something I would think about. This could be an interesting move here on Netflix. This could be interesting because now it's trying to regain this area. Let's see if it breaks back down. If that's a failed breakout. Look at Meta. Like we said, what did we say yesterday on analysis? See if it tries to make another breakout, and see if it has another attempt at breaking back out. I'm going to be right back in 1 minute. Here's Tom Lee.
This jump in rates just in the past couple months is equal to 4 hikes, and that should get investors a little more constructive about how the Fed reacts to incoming data. So I think with positioning, the economy being okay but slowing, and if rates could stabilize or fall and the Fed turning slightly more dovish, I think it is a formula for a rally.
But what about the leadership in this market? Last week, I mean, it wasn't like the big mega cap tech earnings were awful, but the reactions were.
That's right. I think the mood of investors has turned cautious, so they faded decent earnings. I don't think FANG's fundamentals are weaker. I mean, they're still at the center of this AI sort of secular story. So I think FANG actually leads into year-end, and that also helps lift the S&P.
But is your view based on the idea that rates are going to start to come down, that it's not going to be higher for longer, and therefore perhaps that we aren't going to see a significant impact on earnings as a result of these higher rates over time?
Yes, to an extent. There was a great report by Goldman Sachs economists about what fair value is for the 10-year. They used 3 models, and they came up with like roughly 3.8%. So the 10-year at 5 is reflecting this uncertainty about inflation, how high the Fed has to be. If the data softens, we're going to start to see investors say, look, the Fed reaction function is if we got unemployment picking up and inflation weakening, they're going to cut. So I think we're seeing the peakish points in the rates right now.
Doesn't the market eventually transition to bad news being bad news?
Yeah, I mean, that's a bad quadrant to be in. If we're slowing, but it's consistent with soft landing, that's bad news is good news. But if it's a sudden slowdown in economic activity because we just ran out of gasoline, that's actually bad news is bad news. So I think right now it's open to interpretation, but to us it still feels like we're tracking for a soft landing.
The other interesting thing, the Goldman desk takes a look today at some of the dislocations we've had within earnings. Morgan Stanley Google, Verizon, like top 5 biggest underperformances on a T1 basis, T plus 1 in several years. What do you think that's about?
I don't think it's inflated earnings expectations. I just think the mood of this market's gotten really cautious because of all the geopolitical tensions. I mean, I noticed this over the weekend. Almost every conversation with a friend or family or even a client talks about what's going on in the Middle East. I don't know if someone wants to be adding risk, even if they think the earnings were decent. So I think the mood is cautious. But of course, as you know, when positioning gets too bearish, that's when bad news becomes good news.
I wanted to dig into that for a moment on the geopolitical risk, because you would have thought it might have been more of a bullish factor for bonds if people are feeling so negatively about risk. And the equity impact isn't clear to me, because war can be also very bullish and stimulative to certain industries in particular. So how do you think about all that?
Well, I think that's been a source of confusion, because I spoke to a couple of fixed income clients over the weekend, and they were saying that the bond market is acting like the war is a limited war. That's why you're not seeing a flight to bonds. But the stock market, I think, it's not trying to discount the defense spending issue. I think it's trying to discount, is this leading to a conflict that could become, much larger? And, in that case, people are just changing risk premia, and that's why I think stocks are being hit while bonds haven't been hit. So you're right. If it turns out that the war is a regional conflict, this is actually bullish for equities because stocks converge with bonds.
Okay, Tom, thank you. Appreciate
Thanks.
your updated views. Tom Lee from FundStrat.
Still ahead this morning, decent results out of McDonald's today, giving shares a nice boost, although off of the opening high. Still a big underperformer on the year, of course. We'll talk about what one of the street's top restaurant analysts thinks about the stock from here. Speaking of consumer names, Target's Brian Cornell at CNBC's Evolve Summit on Thursday. There's still time to register. You can scan the QR code on your screen, or you just go to cnbc.com/events for more on that. Back after a break.
All right, I'm back. Had to use the restroom real quick. Let's see if we can't find some more opportunity. I'm not done. I am not done. The market's not closed. It's 10:45. Tesla is pulling itself back. I'm not sure if anybody's seen that or not. Tesla is pulling itself back. Man, I don't know what is up with these wicks. Look at these wicks. Have you guys been, if anybody's here, if you could comment, have you been getting these crazy wicks the past week? Like it started last week. And if it's just me or if you guys are noticing the same. Because these wicks are crazy. I don't. It's like usually you don't get that intraday. So if it's telling us that like there's issues at the exchanges, which I'm kind of curious to know if there is or if there isn't. Like look at all these wicks. You've seen how it started. It did it Friday. You know, usually you don't get those. Just you don't really get that. Like look at this. What is that? You just ran up from 200 to 204 and you just tap VWAP? That's weird. Do you guys have that same price action or no? Yeah, I don't have it on TradingView. I don't understand what's going on. Correct this bar. I don't know. Um, it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Like, look again. Like what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that it's doing that to me. I really don't. It's kind of worrying me. SoFi's still falling out of bed, folks. Oh man, I don't even want to look to see what this trade's at. The target for us was the low $7 mark. So if you were able to take this and you're still in it, congrats. Congrats. So far, starting the week off great. 100% gain. Didn't take this because I seen the cues were breaking out and I kind of brought my attention over to the overall markets. But that's a really clear setup. I'm not sure how many people we have. If we have anybody here, let me. Come on. What did you guys get into over the weekend? Trying to start a conversation here. All right, I'm trying to start a conversation here. What you guys get into over the weekend? I sat in my backyard and watched fighter pilot, or I watched a fighter jet just kind of just hang out around the house. Huh. And was sick all weekend, so I didn't really go anywhere. Alright, so that's that. I don't know. Man, Tesla is really weak, guys. Tesla's really weak. Let's see. Let's go to, come on. That's insane. Why does it keep doing this? I would love to know why it keeps putting in these stupid ass bars. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Tesla is just, I think Tesla continues. It's telling you right now that you have you're having continuation to the downside. Okay, so the Q's hit 346.50 and they're trying to bounce. I don't know of any small caps or anything that are going on right now. What else? MCD. Did McDonald's sell off? No, it went higher. So let's see what's going on in the markets. Let's take a look. IWM still selling off. The Dow is hanging out. That's a good sign. It's not as down as the other names. Dow, SPY. Dude, these wicks are really getting to me. I don't like that I'm getting these wicks on Thinkorswim. I'm gonna try and turn it off and turn it back on here in a minute. Alright, let's see what happens here. See if this becomes a resistance, or if we can break through it and kind of just trade sideways. My nose is killing me too, by the way. My nose is killing me. Alright, let me see. I'm pulling up the scanner right now to see what, if we have any small caps or anything that are popping up. Man, if you could get a CRM short down to this area here, that would be pretty sweet. That'd be a nice payday, guys. But it's got strength, right? I think that short comes in up at 200. We get back to that 200 because look what we're doing, right? Here's your resistance support, right? That's your major support level. Boom, 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 boom. Now we break it. It's curling up. Look what you have right there at 200. You have the 200-day moving average. You have the 200-day moving average. And you have the 9 EMA on the daily coming in at $200. I think CRM could be a nice short off of this level. To get it back down to the bottom end of that range. And that would be a sweet trade. That would be a sweet trade, guys. And get this thing back down to like 190. Could be really nice. It could be a really nice trade. I kind of need to see this thing up at 200 and see how it reacts at the 9 EMA. You're not there yet. Let's look at the volume to see if we broke it on increase in volume. It doesn't look like we did. Right? The volume doesn't look that great. That's the only thing I don't like. Because unless CRM is in the news, it's not going to have a ton of volume. But when it does get news, like earnings or anything, it trades really nice. It's a stock that can trade really nice. Just like SoFi this morning. CRM will do the same. I can't tell you how many times I've traded SoFi short and long off of the same pattern that SoFi just did today. I can't tell you how many times I've done it. What's AMD doing? I'm gonna go look here in a minute and go to the heat map and see what we got going on for today. See what's weak. Let's look at like well, US Steel might not be strong, but you could look at like Cleveland Cliffs, CLF I think it is. CLF. Yeah. So no, that's weird. Let's see here. No. No. Let's see. CCL. DraftKings coming into some. DraftKings at a support level. Alcoa. Look at Alcoa go. Alcoa's got some really nice strength. Alcoa is pretty strong here. Look at BTAI, guys. Look at this thing. You could start to see this thing start to do more volume tomorrow, look at it breaking through the highs. If you get a pullback on BTAI, I would like to look for a buy around 340, 350. I think we could see if this thing, if I do put this on, never mind. I take that back. I take it back. I take it back. Because that volume came on a day where it was pre-market or after hours. Yeah, it was after hours, it looks like. No, it's either pre-market? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, I was going to say, if that volume wasn't there, you could look for an increase in volume. If you got that pullback down here to like 340, 350, 340 area. Because this does look like it has an increase in volume. Like, look at that increase in volume. Right? You got an increase in volume through what? Through the break of the high. Right? If we can pull it back to like 340, 350, 320, but I'd say 330, 340. If we can pull it back, you could get a really nice long out of this thing up at like 340. Right? 340, 330. I would feel more comfortable with it here. Right? And I mean, as of like tomorrow and like, as the week goes on, and really start bringing some volume in it. So if we can get a pullback to 330 area, I might put on a small long and just stick with like, I'll kind of just I'll watch it and put my stop loss where it needs to be, but I'm not going to go heavy. It'll be just in case the stock breaks out, because the risk to reward would be great. Because if you already got an increase in volume through the break of Friday's high, so that pullback could bring more traders in and get another day of an increased volume and get to that million share candle mark in the 3-minute candle, right? So you have 268,000, just under 500,000. I want to get to that million mark, and I think if you pull it back and hold, you could start to get to that million mark. I have the 9 EMA. I have the 9 EMA, Jeff. What's going on, man? How are you today? Sorry, I just seen your thing. But, again, this will be, because the only thing I don't like about this is you already had volume on this days ago. But now that you were able to consolidate and hold, this could be a play that could work itself out, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And you get a pullback to this, again, $3.40 area. I mean, we could have a nice play on our hands here Monday, Tuesday. Let me go to the daily chart and make sure. I also haven't done that work, so don't let me get ahead of myself until I get the work. Yes, look at that. The 100-day moving average is way up here at $7, guys. This could be a nice play. I want to see if this daily chart, okay, you see how we have a solid candle here. You want to see this close kind of solid. You don't want to see these tails. Like, this isn't bad. You have a small tail, but it's this one you don't want to see. You don't want to see that, right? You don't want to see that. You don't want to see a long wick on the top of it. But what we have here, and what else do we have right there at this 315, 340 area? You have your 50-day moving average. If we can pull it back, you have a previous double top. Look at that double top. Look at that double top right there. 336, 340. I think if you pull back and look, man, this is a really nice setup. The more I look at it, the more it tells me if we get a pullback, you could see more traders take this as long as they know about it. And if things start to slow up in the market, look at that, right? Right there. That's going to be the level. 330 to 340. I'm gonna look for a pullback there. If I get that pullback into that area, anywhere in this area, from 350 to 340, I may not get it because they're probably getting ahead of me now. There's your resistance, right? The previous support could turn into resistance, but I think on this pullback that we're going to get, we should get it right now. Right there, right? That's high a day. Man, this could lead to a serious play, guys. This thing could lead to a serious play that I feel like I want to start getting in. And what's going to happen is as this stock pulls higher, it's going to yank this 100-day moving average down. And what do we have? What do we have? We have a really nice area right there of prior support and resistance gap fill that the 100-day moving average is getting ready to meet us at, which is an indication that this stock could be at 750 here in the near future to meet this 50-day, fill this gap, and then do the sell-off. Because if you look at a lot of the small caps, it will go to the 100-day moving average and reject it. Sometimes you'll get the break of the 100-day moving average. A lot of times you will if that stock is really in play. But look at that. There's your 100-day moving average coming right into this gap fill, ready for this thing to meet. We get that pullback on here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get like a I'm just gonna enter it like a I'm gonna put like a I'm just gonna like tier into this and see if it'll work out. I'm not gonna do it here. If it breaks, okay, it breaks, then what I'll do is I will wait for the what I'll do is I'll wait for the pullback of this area that's resistance right now at like 375. This is on watch for sure. BTAI is definitely on watch, guys. This could lead to a nice trade. And I haven't traded small caps in quite a while. Man, it feels good starting the day off right. We were short the Qs this morning. 345 puts. And that's kind of where we were looking to get to. You got over 100% on those. If not, you could have easily gotten, I don't know, 75. It was not hard at all to get 75. You didn't have to be in that trade long at all to get 70 to 80% in that trade. And sorry for the sniffles. I kind of am under the weather at the moment. I had a rough night. I didn't sleep but maybe a few hours last night. I think I went to bed at like 3. Lord of the Rings came on, and I'm like, sweet. I actually watched that movie in like one shot. Which it's crazy to say, but I haven't ever been able to. I haven't ever been able to watch that movie like in one shot. And then I watched a few videos, about the markets and stuff like that on YouTube. So yeah, that was my night, and I think I went to bed at like 3-4 o'clock. But then the little girl comes in. You guys, if you guys are new here and don't know who I'm talking about, like Jeff, if you don't know my little girl Abby, she comes in all the time. My little baby right here. She came in and woke me up at like 4:30. She actually came in this morning at like 4:30. So I was like, as soon as I fell asleep, meow. I'm like, girlfriend, I know you're hungry, but you got food. You have dry food. It's not like you're poor and it's not like you don't have any food. It's not like you're starving. But she wakes me up in the morning, so she's my backup alarm. All right, look at us starting to break this level. This level is getting the volumes pulling back. Now you're coming in the lunchtime. So what I would say, it's only 11 right now, so you could get a push off of this level, like a final, like just get in. For anybody that wants to be in it. Okay, so there it is. So it is trying to reject here. I think this could be a really nice play. I really do. This could be a really nice play. It's just got all the signs of a nice setup. It really does. If we can, especially guys, if we can take out this volume here on a pullback, we get that pullback and really start to get traders in on this on BTAI. This, I don't know what the float is. I don't know what the float is on this. Let me see if I can find out the float real quick. Let me go see. We could always just go to the NASDAQ, I'm sure. But that's what I'm going to look for. Today we have a nice early increase in volume. That's the number one key for me right now is volume. Right? We're doing that. We broke the Friday's high with an increase in volume. And man, if we can pull it back and hold, I'm telling you guys, this can make for a really nice trade. It could. Let's see here. Oh, I thought I answered that, Jeffy. What EMA on the chart? It's the 9. This yellow EMA. This would be the 9 exponential moving average. I thought I answered that already. I thought I told you it was the 9 EMA. Let's go look at the markets. I'm going to leave this thing alone for a little bit. I'm going to let it do what it needs to do. Actually, let me go back to it and set an alert. I've set alerts on here before, and it hasn't really... I want to see if we pull it back down to here to 350. I need to pull up level 2 on this thing, too. See what type of sellers we have. Man, my nose is killing me, man. Frick. Alright, I don't like that. Look at the volume. The volume that's coming in, you know, it's greater than the buying. And that's to be expected, right? That's people that are in it, selling it. I want to put that alert. I want to put it here because I want to watch it when it starts to come into this area. I want to see where she's at. Alright, let's see what happens. See if it'll send it to me. Alright, let's go to the markets. The blue, red, and green. Okay. The green is the 20-day moving average, right? The green is the 20-day moving average. The red is the 50. Everybody should be the 50 on the red. It's just a joke. And then the blue is the 100-day moving average. The 9 is the 9 EMA. Or the yellow is the 9 EMA. Right? So you got the 100-day moving average. You got the 50-day moving average in red. And then green is the 20-day moving average. And then yellow is the 9 EMA. Let's see here. So, man, let me see here. So, yeah, sorry about that. The blue, red, and green are SMAs too, by the way. The only EMA, the only exponential moving average would be the yellow one. Not that it really matters. It kind of matters, but it doesn't. Man, look. I mean, it is, I guess. Well, we got to see how we finish the day, but man, that increase in selling, like, that's telling you they want to get out. You know, like, I don't know where you if the IWM really starts to sell off, like, where are you going? Right? Where are we going? You gonna go to 130? I mean, I don't think you go that far, but I think you might. Let's see if you. The thing is, if we don't have buyers at 160, I'm gonna be really nervous. I'll be really nervous if we don't. If we start getting back down to like the COVID area, and we don't have any buyers here at 160. And it's going to be understanding. It'll be a bit understandable because of where treasuries are. You know, the long term duration, risk free or practically risk free, short. Um, you know, I can understand where money's going to go, but at what point do you have to say, you know, your 10, your 5, 10 year horizon, right? It's like I want to start to see some nibbling here. If we don't start to see some nibbling on the IWM, I would get worried. You know, I'm going to be patient, but you know, then obviously we'll be 140. Yeah, 159.50, 160. This is we got to get some buying here. If we don't, guys, the market's in trouble. And I'm not one of those you know, I don't scream from the I don't just scream like, "Oh my god, everything's screwed up," like that world reserve currency stuff. Because it's not, it's like anybody that like says a lot of that stuff. Like, yeah, we're still in a bear market, right? We're still in a bear market, and we're back in a bear market because the October low was like 410, I think it was. Like, this was your 20% increase was at like 410 or so, 420. Yeah, 417, 417, 415 right here. Right? So yes, we're back in a bull market because we have pulled back. Have we pulled back more than 20%? But from the October low, oh, of course. Of course. Let's see. Let's get technical. No, 12%. But the thing is from our low, from the October low, your 20% retracement was up there at like 417, right? Just under 420. You've cracked it. And again, I think I'm really convinced that Friday we wanted to go green and the Nasdaq did close green. The markets kind of wanted to just like relax, maybe have a low volume a low volume up day, a bit of short covering, a bit of nibbling and buying. But when you have Jamie Dimon coming out talking about I'm selling shares, and again, I think he's just taking some of that share that he has, and I think it's 9% of his stake that he's selling. He's probably grabbing treasuries with this. He's probably trying to find a ton of cash. You know, he's like, where can I go get these, short term, long term debt at these prices? Right? They're not going to be here forever. So you got to get you got to allocate sensibly. You should allocate yourself to some sort of place in the bond market, whether it's the 10s, 30s, 20s, 5s, something, 2-year. So I think that's what he's doing, right? People are going to talk about him possibly quitting or something going on, but I think he's just going to load up on cash and go buy a bunch of treasuries. That's my personal opinion. I think that's what he's doing. I think he's just taking some of that ownership that he has and catching a just about risk-free 5-6% in the bond market. So let's see. Let's go. All right, so there's a nice nice area to short the SPY again. You did not you closed above VWAP. There's two candles, but that's a pretty nice setup. That's screaming sideways type of day. I'm really curious to see what happens tomorrow and going into Wednesday because this volume is still a little bit stronger than I'd like to see. So if you don't know, you want to, I think, what is it? On a 3-minute chart, is it like, let me see here. Like, yeah, guys, that was a lot of volume. That was a lot of volume, guys. Look at that. Oh, no, that's Tesla. I'm sorry, I was looking at Tesla. That was a lot of selling on Tesla, which I'm going to show you guys in 1 second. Um, okay, so that wasn't too bad. So look at the selling on Tesla. You had over 25 million the first hour, guys. Man, I don't know what's wrong with my charts. They keep doing these. It keeps having this wick. I don't understand. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go blow my nose, and I'll be right back. If you guys have anything, that you guys are watching or notice, or anything you guys want to talk about or look at, and kind of game plan for the week, we'll go through it. If you guys want to go, we'll start going through a bunch of tickers. If you guys want to put some tickers in the chat, we'll cover some tickers, and kind of just get ready for the week. We had a Hotel November. Hotel November. I don't know what it was. Sorry. I don't know what they just said.
What about the event tonight, this very fast event, which our Steve Kovac previewed as potentially relating here to the semiconductor or the chip production, a fast chip that Apple's got in the works? How much of that fits into the thesis?
Dude, I don't know why the wicks are like they are. I've noticed this the past few days. Oh, and the turquoise line, by the way, is the 200-day moving average. Alright. I'm gonna go grab some tissues, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Tesla's just weak, guys. I think you could ride this out for the remainder of the day. It feels like it's in a... Feels like you are probably going to see 180 here soon. Here, let me make this bigger. Let me look at... let me pull up a chart of it real quick. Travel stocks are leading. Oh, I forgot about Amazon too. Alright, 197. I think we see 180 coming up. $180.50. All aboard. Probably going to get back down to that 100, 160 level. Again, once Tesla starts its trend, guys, it usually sticks with it. It will usually stick with it because I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, you know, you've had your consolidation. Once it picks a direction, it goes. Picks a direction, it goes. Picks a direction, it goes. And I think a lot of people overlook those kind of things, right? Consolidation, get your direction, it goes. Consolidate, picks the direction, it goes. Small consolidation, big short covering, big reversal. I took that trade on 95, baby. Interstate 90, Highway 95. Right there that day. That reversal. Right? This is a picture perfect setup for being able to catch reversals. You had bullish divergence, stock making new lows, RSI and MACD making higher lows, right? All bullish sentiment underneath. And then bang, you got it. Then obviously you had the gap up, increase in volume, and that really got them to start covering. It was a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. All right, so Home Depot already had earnings, huh? Yep, you did. You did. That's funny. Listen to my guy.
A new 146. So we went from 156 to 146, and they're not the only one. Lilly and Pfizer both saw lower earnings estimates. Merck had their numbers cut, their fourth quarter numbers cut as well. So the drug companies have not had a very good response at all to their earnings. Here's Home Depot. Again, this happened a while ago. Home Depot earnings came out a while ago in August. It was 330 or so when the earnings came out. Look at this, 278 right now. It hit a 52-week low on Friday. So did Johnson & Johnson. And we're seeing a lot of responses just like this. So in the banks, Morgan Stanley and Citigroup, they all had numbers out. They weren't exactly terrible. It was 77 when it reported for Morgan Stanley, and now it's 70 on Friday. So that's a new low. Citigroup, new low. Morgan Stanley, new low on Friday. So the banks.
You hearing it?
American Express.
Everything's
American
putting
Express
in lows,
now,
guys.
here's Morgan Stanley, though. Take a look at
Here
Morgan
we
Stanley.
go.
I'm just talking about them here. That was a new low on Friday here. $70, a little bit better.
So
You can see just fractionally today. But American
strength.
Express. Here it is, right next
I
to it.
wonder, I haven't
142
looked at
today. Their earnings came out on the 20th, a while ago. It was 150 then. It went to 141 again, 52-week low on Friday. And they talked about the consumer
really
being
start
strong.
getting a bear market
but the market
to take
is
hold.
acting
It's gonna
like the
take
consumer
everything
is
down
not that
with it.
strong. They're selling off American Express, even though they had a decent earnings report. We've already talked about some of the other transports. UPS was at a new low as well. That also went essentially straight down. So, guys, it's pretty basic here. The response to to the earnings themselves have not been terrible, but either the body language or the commentary on the earnings calls have caused a number of downgrades or reductions to the fourth quarter earnings estimates. And that's
like
what's causing much of the
BTAI still
sell-off
going.
in the markets right now. We'll talk a little bit more about how we're looking in the second half of earnings season in the next day or so.
I think we could start to see names
so
like,
far. Guys,
this
back
is
to you.
my
A
thought
lot of
process.
uncertainty in the
We've seen the
macroeconomic
names that are
front.
up at highs
Commentary
get
from
sold
earnings.
off
Thank
on
you,
earnings.
Babasani. Still to come.
And the earnings were
Citigroup's U.S.
decent.
equity strategist, its chief U.S. equity strategist, Scott.
Earnings were decent, and we got to see a lot of these names sell off. I'm really curious to see if, like, some of the names like that report this week. Let's see, ABNB. It's not at highs. It's not at highs, but I want to see if we can. Man, I think that's where the buying would step in at the 100 level. Like Roku, right? If Roku, no, I don't expect it to continue. I don't think it'll get up to, like, look at that, $500. That's insane. I want to see if some of these names that are beaten down can start to catch a bid if they report decent earnings. Right? We're in a nice support level. Let's see. Because you've seen it with SoFi. You did get a pop, but it couldn't hold. Let's go see where it's at. That was such a nice setup. I'm so frustrated. I looked at the cues and got sidetracked, but it don't matter. Still got a damn near 100% trade today. Got 100% trade. Final take profit on that. So, man, our target was $7, the low $7 area, and it gave it to us. So that was pretty good analysis there. 680 is your support. Let's look at Netflix. Volume kind of stinks. Okay, so there's the pop into that level where we said where we could possibly catch a short. It was up in this area. Let's see what it decides to do. I'll check back on it in a minute. Like I said with that analysis on Netflix today, I said let it get up there today, and then it would be like, you know, if it's going to be a shortable pullback, it'll probably do it tomorrow or Wednesday when it gives you the momentum. You know what I mean? To pull it back here to catch a bid, to see if there's still some buyers down here at like 385. That's where I was looking, 385-ish. I may put this trade on now, actually. Let me look at the... I'm going to look. Again, I don't want to fight the markets if the markets are going to bounce, but I'm just going to keep it at that. I'm going to keep it at that. Let's see what they're asking. It's a buck. If I do decide to take this, I'll let you guys know. Maybe I'll let it... Man, this is where you should take it, though. This is the resistance. 409, 410. It's up today while the overall market... let me see. Are the overall markets down up? I haven't looked at them in a minute. But again, it's just another trade idea, right? You're shorting the bounce. So we are... where are we? So we're like the Qs are 0.6 green. So SPY. So 0.6% for the Qs, and the SPY is 0.6% for the SPY as well. That's funny. That's rare that they're matched up. Let's see if they start to diverge themselves. Look at this. 0.68% for the Qs. It's a 15-minute chart. Give me a 3-minute chart. And then let's look at the SPY. That's so weird, isn't it? You rarely see that. The Dow. So the Dow is leading. It's up over 1%, guys. and the IWM is lagging. All right, so that would mean let's look to get long Dow names. All right, I'm gonna look to get long Dow names, and that would go against our CRM short. All right, you see, this is how I want to game plan. Dow is leading. I want to be long Dow names. What's some of the Dow leaders? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go look and I'm gonna go look and see what parts of the Dow are up and which ones are down to see where we can be long and where we can be short. See, Jen. All right, let's do it. So we got the Dow. I had this up before, and it'll tell you the weighting. Information technology is a bit over half. 34 out of 101. 101 total holdings. 197.3 billion total in assets. All right, let's do it. Let's start going through them. All right, the Dow. The Dow holdings. Let's see here. Schwab, Wall Street. It should have gave us more. I feel like it should have gave us more. All right, let's do it. Let's start getting to work, team. UNH. I want to know how the Dow is up. Man, my nose is killing me, guys. Holy shit. I don't know how the Dow is up so much when it doesn't seem like any of the names in the Dow are up that much. That doesn't look good. It's another rejection. I feel like UNH, you're going to see some more downside. Especially if you break this area here. Say hello to my little friend 500. I think this market has more downside to come. All right, yeah, Goldman said, wow. That's right. The Dow is done by stock price. That's right. Man, there's a lot of nice setups, guys, to the short side that could be setting up. All right, Microsoft. Feels like Microsoft might hold this high. Feels like it wants to hold that high and bounce up to that 350 level. I gotta blow my nose. Goldman Sachs, Home Depot, Amgen. Look, see, like all these names are coming into what could be resistance. If they're not already at resistance. See, how do I look at this? It's like this whole area, right? You have resistance here. Or if I go here, right? You have resistance there, but then you have this. So it's like same, right? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then it's like, where do I go? Right there. So it looks like it's going to just start selling off now. Goldman Sachs. That is it's a nice little bit of volume. Just not sure. Just not too sure about it. Home Depot, Amgen, and McDonald's. Oh, that could be the driver. That could be a driver. Amgen. McDonald's. McDonald's reported earnings. So that could be one that's helping the Dow go higher. Look at this Amgen setup too. This is a nice. It's a nice setup if it can hold that level. Oh, it did. It did gap up, and now it's still pulling back to it. This thing's gonna get sold. If Amgen comes back down to this 260 area and you break it, that selling's gonna start. I think you're gonna start to see a lot of selling start to take place. Just doesn't things don't look good. Things still do not look good at all. They really don't. Sorry. I think it's better if I go to a... And look, here comes Home Depot working in on that level, just like transports, right? Man, that sucks. All right. So a lot of some of these names are making low in the year. I gotta get a tooth. I gotta get a not toothbrush. I gotta blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. It's still not looking good. Please do yourself a favor and do your due diligence, because now's not the time to short UPS. Okay, now's not the time to short UPS. That was last week's trade. I know I brought it up last night. That's why I'm saying it. But this was the trade for last week, not this week, because it's already down. It's down, but it's down so much, and you're going to be paying so much for it at these levels. And just one bounce back higher is going to kill those premiums. That's why I say that. All right, I'm going to grab a toothbrush real quick. I'll be right back. I don't see how we go higher. I don't. I don't see a world in which we go higher. I feel like we kind of just sit here in this area from like 390 to 440, 450. Feels like shit's getting ready to hit the fan. Let's see here. Gotta hear it.
What? I'm out of town, thuggin' with my round. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Where the niggas? I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing, nigga, come suck a bitch toes. Pound town, just left Pound Town. Left my nigga, he just took a bitch down.
What? Oh my god. What a shame. What a shame, shame, shame. No talent. Sorry that it was so loud. I just had to hear that. I had to hear that foolishness. Oh my god. Anyway, let's not veer off track here. Let's not veer off track. I kind of wanted to whatever happened with that game? Real personal income including excellent government transfer payments rose to new all-time highs in September. Personal income excluding transfer receipts. Real personal income excluding government transfer payments rose to a new all-time high in September. Oh man, my nose, man. Let's see here. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I'd really, I don't know. I don't know if there's, I just don't know if I'm gonna, what it is I'm gonna do. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm gonna make any more trades. BTAI. I think it went higher. That is going to be on my list this week. BTAI is on my list. For sure. Alright, guys. So, yeah. Wow. It's going to do it. And I'm not in it. I was wanting to see if we could get a pullback. Shit. I still need a pullback in this thing. Again, I think this could be a huge trade. It could be a 2, 3, 4 day type of trade. Let's see where this thing closes, and maybe we get some after hours action. It's lunchtime, so watch out for lunchtime breakouts on low volume. It's getting a little rough for me. Just not feeling well. Man, look at this. 7:30. This could be a really nice trade setup to get to this 100-day moving average, this gap fill. You have the 100-day coming right in with that gap fill. Should be this could be a really nice setup. So this is what I'm watching, and I'm gonna just keep an eye out on the overall markets. I'm gonna go blow my nose. I'll be right back. I may just stop the stream and I'll be back at 2 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. If you guys could do us a solid, hit the like button. Appreciate it. You know, I'm sure there's people out there that like to be here trading with us, asking questions, all that fun stuff. So with, you know, it would help. It would greatly help. All right, guys. All right, guys. I'll be back in about an hour or two for the 2 o'clock session. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you guys had a great day. I mean, 100%. Beautiful trade on the Qs. Called out SoFi. We're going to be watching BTAI. If something changes, I'll be back on. But I'll be back on at 2. See you guys then, guys. Thanks. Take care.